Before Prohibition, there were over 4,000 craft breweries in the United States. Willamette Valley was once the hop capital of the world from late 1800s to the early 1900s. Who would have believed that there were Chinese hop farmers who were part of this craft beer movement? Ako was born in 1861 in China. He came to the U.S. to work on the railroad around 1880, and then he became a farmer in 1894 in Rickreall, Oregon, which is a small town 5 miles east of Dallas, Oregon. Ako was a well-respected hop farmer in Polk County from 1894 to 1923. He was a local celebrity, and he was considered a Polk County pioneer. Betty Jean Lee is Ako's first granddaughter. She's currently living in Portland, Oregon. Evelyn Sibley Lampman, a well-known children's book author, grew up in Dallas, Oregon.
Dallas, Oregon in the early quarter of this century was dominantly an all-white community and largely Protestant. But we did have several Chinese. The most respected of these was a man named Ako. He was quiet and industrial, and I never heard of anyone who didn't have a good word to say for him. Mr. Ko lived in a frame house, painted yellow, just outside the city limits on a dirt road leading east from the hospital. Behind it was a hop yard, which he operated on a 99-year lease. Even though America had come to trust the Chinese in our midst, it was deemed wise to take no chances, and Orientals were not then permitted to purchase land outright. Almost every year they had a new baby, and by Chinese standards it was sad that each one was a girl. The eldest, Frankie, was in my room at school. I don't think she was discriminated against, although she might have had another story to tell. Personally, I was regarded her as another girl. She was pretty, well-dressed in American clothing, and a good student. However, she could never play after school because she had a long walk home. It was considerably over a mile down the country road to her home, and she always had little sisters to look after. Sometimes when we were out for our regular Sunday drive and happened to take that road, my father stopped the car and visited a few minutes with Mr. Ko. When that happened, I always got out too and talked with Frankie. I remember once he had a camera in the car and took a picture of Frankie, her second sister, and me. He had to wait a while the girls put on their best dresses and had their hair recombed. Dad told me not to push in too close, and later when I asked him why, he explained it was so I could be cut out of the picture, out of the print. Ako would like a picture of his daughters, but he probably wouldn't want one of me. It was a great blow to my ego.
After running a hop yard for almost 30 years, Ako could not own the farmland due to Chinese Exclusion Act. In 1923, Ako moved to Portland to open a restaurant. He died in 1939.
In the early 40s, my dad and my mom wanted to purchase a home, and it was very difficult. They couldn't find a realtor that would even show them a home. And my dad decided that in order to buy a home, he was going to have to go and get the neighbors to sign a petition. So he went door to door in a four-block area in Northeast 33rd and Schuyler in Portland, and he got permission from everybody to say there was no objection to Chinese to live in the area. And it was mind-boggling that he had to fight in order to obtain to purchase a home.